Hello, and welcome to this edition of The List on UWW-TV. I'm Mason Miller, alongside Nadiri Morgan Thompson. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made our top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, the UW Whitewater football team blew out the visiting Stevens Point Pointers by a score of 66-0. This game was pushed to be played under Friday night lights as the WSMA State Marching Band Championship took place on Saturday. With Jackson Chris taking the starting role for this game and having great success, do you see this as a sign of things to come, or just a one-off performance?
If we're being honest, right, Cincinnati getting benched was overdue. The Whitewater rushing attack could never find any grounds, as their passing attack couldn't find any grounds. And if you can't respect the passing game, the rushing attack is very easily to be defended. However, Friday night, they put up a 60 burger, and that's because they finally had to respect the passing attack, right? Simply speaking, when you can pass and run, it makes it almost impossible for a defense to stop you, unless the defense is just purely more talented than you. And the Warhawks are one of the most talented Division III programs in the entire country, right? And that's why we had 5 rushing touchdowns, 353 yards, and our quarterback had 3 touchdowns through the air as well. And on top of that, our defense picked off each one of their quarterbacks 3 interceptions, right? The Warhawks are dominating, we're stifling, we're piping hot, and we're making a push for them playoffs, baby.
Yeah, I have to agree wholeheartedly. While we do want to make sure that we show love to Cincinnati for doing the best that he could, it was time for a change at quarterback. And when you have a new quarterback in there, it's always going to be some level of question marks of how they'll come in and do right off the rip. But he came out the gate hot with 266 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. And then beyond that, as we know, the Whitewater's bread and butter is our running game. And when you go out there and get 353 yards on the ground, that's a beautiful game. Hopefully we can keep this going. As you said, we make a push for the playoffs.
Roll Hawks.
At number 4, the New York Liberty have won the WNBA championship. The series was as back and forth as it could possibly be and ended up taking all 5 games to decide the winner. After the big game, questions about legacy naturally began to pop up. So with that being said, what does this title do for members of the Liberty, as well as the Lynx who fell short?
I think this championship speaks a lot about box score watchers and people who actually watch the game, right? If you're a box score watcher, you're like, oh my God, the Liberty won the championship. Good for Stewie. Good for Jonquel Jones. Sabrina, you played a little bad, right? But if you watch that game, you will see the referees completely cheated the Minnesota Lynx. They didn't want a small market team to win. What happens in the NBA sometimes, and it just happened in the WNBA. Why can they not let the players decide games, right? If they let the players decide the games, Sabrina shooting 1 for 17 probably would have been enough for the Liberty to lose. Breanna Stewart averaged a double-double in the finals. She had a great series. Jonquel Jones won Finals MVP. She had a great series, but Sabrina Stinker should have cost the Liberty of the game, but the referees saved them. And quite frankly, Mason, I don't believe that should be happening in 2024.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Of course, it's shout out to the Lynx for winning a championship. That's hard to do regardless, and I don't want to completely discredit what they did. But if you watch that game and you see the foul discrepancy, even if you just look at the box score, 25 free throws to 8 is insane, especially when you have one of the premier players in the league, Napheesa Collier, out there. And as much as she drives the basket, man, the Liberty were out there beating her like they stole something. And she was not getting any fouls called for it. She was still able to get off with 22 points. Kayla McBride was right behind her with 21. But the refereeing does have to get called into question. But congratulations to Liberty. At number 3, the NBA season is about to begin. And with that, endless possibilities of what could happen. With so much to speculate, it's only fair to give our 2 cents with predictions for the season ahead. So, Nadiri, what are some hot takes and general expectations for this NBA season?
I'm going to give you a hot take right here. I'm going to start off with a crazy hot take, right? The Phoenix Suns have a new head coach, right? Mike Budenholzer. Mike Budenholzer is one of the best regular season head coaches of all time. My first hot take is that the Phoenix Suns are going to be a top 3 seed in the Western Conference, right? Budenholzer ball is real. The offense is real. The 3-point shots are real. And at the end of the season, I'm going to get proven right. All you people shaking your heads, you're going to be looking very dumb. My second hot take, right, is that the Orlando Magic aren't going to be one of the upper echelon teams in the
Oh
Eastern
my
Conference, right? We talk about Paulo Banchero, he's going to take the superstar step. We talk about Franz Wagner, he just got his bag. Jalen Suggs got paid. KCP, they're going to be good. Are they going to compete with the championship teams? Not yet, but are they going to take a step? I do believe this to be true. What are some of your hot takes, Mason?
Forget my hot takes. I'm sorry, I can't move on. You said the Phoenix Suns will be a top 3 seed. Mike Budenholzer is one of the best
regular season coaches of all time.
That's
Mike
cool.
Budenholzer
That's
teams.
cool. I've seen, we all have seen, as Bucks fans, as Milwaukee close places as we are right now. We've seen what Budenholzer can do. Lose in the playoffs over and over and over and over. And then I don't know what you're seeing about this Suns team that makes it so different besides Budenholzer. They still don't have a good interior presence. Devin Booker still isn't him, and KD is still a choker and a snake. But I guess we'll just let those be. Anyways, though, we've got more coming up on the list, including the MLB, World Series, and the NFC North. We'll be right back.
Have you heard of UROC?
We're part of Whitewater and our own thing.
Come on, we'll show you.
I learned how to be a college student here, and now I'm headed off to Madison to study global health, and I know I'm ready.
People like me who aren't a fan of big crowds would really like UROC because it's welcoming and it's laid back.
My advisor helped me figure out my schedule, organize my time, fill out my FAFSA, and figure out what classes I liked and how to turn that into a major. And if I had to do it again, I would choose UROC.
You ready to rock?
You belong here.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories. Even the night before, I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW-TV.
Your home for excellence in action. The WIAC Network. Watch and download here.
It's always been there, his love of the outdoors. Some days, you wonder if it might be his calling. Truth is, you know that the things he's passionate about today will build the foundation of what he does tomorrow, and possibly inspire a new journey. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue the countdown to this week's top sports stories. At number 2 on our list, the table is set for the World Series as the New York Yankees will be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers beat the Mets, putting an end to the Brewers' curse, and the Yankees beat the Guardians. The last team in the playoffs without a top 3 salary. So with the World Series consisting of the 2 winningest franchises, who do you see standing victorious this year?
This is really New York to LA, right? And personally, I prefer New York City, right? New York City the Yankees are gonna win, right? It's been far too long since the Yankees have grasped the World Series championship, right? We talk about a Juan Soto, and players like that can lead the Yankees to major success. Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts are cool, but they're not the Yankees. The Yankees have prestige, they have aura, and that's gonna push them to that World Series championship.
I applaud you, definitely, for sure. Given the less likely take. But I mean, we both know it's true. And I know deep down in your heart, you know you're lying. The LA Ohtanis are without a doubt going to win this series. If I had to put money on it, I'd say maybe it goes to 5 games. Maybe. If Shohei wakes up late and he gets in a car crash and then the rest of the team kind of calls off sick for 1 game, then yeah, then the Mets can get one. Let's be honest, man. I came too far on the Shohei Ohtani train to hop off at the last stop. No, we're taking it all the way, and I'm sure the LA Ohtanis will find a way to win this one and make it a quick series. You know, I'm not trying to get bored out talking about the same thing over and over, how bad we're beating you guys over and over. But if that's the teams you want to root for, then I mean, go for it. I get it. New York's feeling hot. They just won a championship in the WNBA. And I think they should enjoy that before trying to move on and making up fairy tales. Anyways, though, at our number one spot this week, the NFC North continues to surprise with their combined impressive performances. Each team has no more than 2 losses each, some of which came against each other. It may sound crazy to some people, but it has to be asked, is the NFC North the best division in football?
You know, looking back, if you guys roll the tapes, my brother Mason here said this a while ago, right? And I'm going to let him victory lap that in just a second, but let's give them a little analysis, right? Why is the NFC North so great? We have to start at the most important position in football, the quarterback. We have 4 very good quarterbacks, right? Jared Goff is having an MVP caliber season. Caleb Williams is having a Rookie of the Year caliber season, right? Jordan Love is having a great season as well. And Sam Darnold, surprisingly enough, is having a very good season. And then we go on the flip side of the ball. What do they all also have? Great defenses. Defenses win championships. They win playoff games. And I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 teams make it to the playoffs and even make it to the divisional round if it's possible.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And, you know, you mentioned a victory lap, but do you victory lap when you wake up in the bed? Do you do victory lap when you like drink water? You know, it's just calling it how you see it. It's just doing what you're supposed to do. The NFC North has been the best division in football, and I think it's by a long shot. You know, it's kind of just one of those things where it's like breaking news: water will make your hands wet. Breaking news: the sky is blue. Breaking news: dogs exist. You know, it's just like we're talking about the obvious thing here. Every single team in the NFC North, except for the Bears, are a serious championship contender. Not just like in playoff talks, serious championship contenders. Look, the NFC North is easily the best division in football, but I'm glad now you guys know. Anyways, though, that'll do it for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk up the latest sports headlines. For Nadiri Morgan Thompson and the members of the UWW TV crew, I'm Mason Miller. See you then.